Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sam Serious. I know this is a very unusual introduction here, but I got a bit of a confession to make for this episode. I messed up recording the audio. For some odd reason, OBS did not work with my microphone, so the whole video is pretty much working without a working microphone. So I'm going to do what I can to help give y'all the context while trying to make this video interesting much as possible. But yeah, I was just editing and came to realize, no, the microphone didn't work. If any of y'all happen to decide to do video editing and stuff, check your recording program and see if it's recognizing your microphone before you record, because I finally explored the ancient city, got a lot of footage, but I can't discard these footages because I've already done a lot enough as is, so please bear with me. If you guys be so kind to do so, it'd be very well appreciated if y'all could stay with this whole episode. This won't happen again in the future. So, I started off this episode doing an introduction, just letting y'all know at the time that I'm getting down to the chase to take care of the ancient city. But I was also addressing that I built a room to protect another portal from ghasts in, and that I've built a mine shaft and went mining while I was off camera. Now I'm doing something a little different when it comes to mining here. Like, it's definitely branch mining I'm doing here, but more closer up to the surface, and I am digging straight down, standing on 2 blocks, so that way I get every single ore out of every single generated chunk in the world. At least at the level I'm at. The reason why I chose this floor level is because I have water rivers above me that I don't want to dig into. Now, I was digging down and found some caves that led directly to the ground level of an ancient city. So this is the area that I used to dig down and enter the ancient city with when I started raiding. So here I was planning to get the Echo Shards, Wool, and the Swift Sneak 3 enchantment. So I finally dug my way down to the ancient city. Destroyed a few skulk sensors and started slowly digging down with caution because I do not know where all the spots for the skulk shriekers are at. I did notice an observation at this spot that that's also access to another type of wood here that no trees will generate with, spruce wood. So spruce wood there is pretty much the only spruce wood that I'll find, so if I want more, I'll have to find more ancient cities. I did come across another interesting find to as well with the city. It turns out these things generate with a little bit more shriekers than what I was used to. I came to take note of that after I gathered all of the wool. But yeah, just look at all that gray wool though. The wool actually came to be pretty handy. I also freed up the white wool for me to use for something else later on that y'all will see in the video later on. So I noticed off the bat 4 shriekers. I knew I got all the wool I need, but I was rather boggled to how to contend to all the shriekers without setting any of them off. So I thought, cover up that shrieker first, and that should be enough to keep the skulk sensors from triggering a shrieker. Check around, making sure that I don't cause it, that I haven't missed anything. And doing my darnest to make sure I don't trip this shrieker's off. Surprise, surprise. I missed something and caused a shrieker to go off. So it's in a big hurry. It's like, oh snap, hurry, hurry. The shriekers do contain like a 10-second cooldown to when they can be triggered again. So I took advantage of that to destroy all the shriekers. But I took more than 10 seconds, so I triggered 2 more shriekers doing that. So I was just creeping around looking for chests while double checking on everything around me. Extremely more alert now that that's easy to trigger shriekers even with wool. And knowing this place is big and that there would be more shriekers than what I'm expecting to work with, I expected this to be a very long looting session. So I came across the first chest here. Found two enchanted golden apples, music disc, compass, the potion, and I got the sensors and the skulk. That chest, I believe, was one of the chests that didn't contain any sensors or shriekers anywhere near it. Plus 2, I destroyed enough of the skulk sensors to where opening that chest wouldn't cause anything to trigger. Plus 2, the wool came. Is there a sensor there? Oh yeah, that's the wool that I used to destroy the skulk sensor to make sure that skulk sensor doesn't trigger that shrieker there. Now that spot there that I was just looking at, there's a chest there too, but it also had 3 shriekers closely combined together with no space between the chest. So that's 1, 2, 3 shriekers there, with a 4th one by the lava. So I was thinking to myself, I can't break these without causing noise. So I decided to take a gamble here and place those 2 walls directly by the chest, a little bit higher, just well, so it's 2 block tall, wool pillars, in hopes that it would keep the chest from setting off a skulk sensor. I did not feel like having a 3rd shrieker going off at the time. I expected the oh yeah, then I started searching around to make sure there were any other skulk sensors that would surprise me. Place those bits of wool down too tall to make sure that the triggers above don't get triggered. And then I got brave enough to open the chest. Oh, actually I broke the chest, but lucky for me, no shriekers were screeching in the process of making this scene. I was tickled to death to see that there's a diamond leggings that had protection 4 and unbreaking 3 on it. I was a little excited because all I had to do is slap mending on that and that'd be a very good piece of armor to work with, as well as a swift sneak. So jazzed by the finds, I recollected the wool. I have plans on coming back to destroy those 3 shriekers when when I'm not so much on a high alert on the warning count. So I may come back to that spot just to make the area safer to traverse. And then start jumping up and exploring around. I did eventually find another thing, to my surprise, that was pretty nice, that I eventually cautiously worked up to. Like what you saw me looking at there was diamonds. So I took a small gamble to break that shrieker. Success, only skulk sensors were alarmed. No shrieker triggered. I was then just wanting to jump down, was a little hesitant to break any blocks, didn't know what was around me, so I made use of the wool I gathered. And I surveyed around, I know I was kind of holding my breath a bit doing this. Caught myself like, nope, 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 breathe, breathe. Now don't get me wrong, I know that that wasn't exactly walking over a shrieker, or a shrieker or a skulk sensor. Walking on shriekers and skulk sensors can actually set them off. So you can actually trigger a shrieker without using redstone or without a skulk sensor. So I was also conscientious about my steps, even while I was sneaking. So I found that that spot didn't have any shriekers. And even then, that area wasn't close enough to have any skulk sensors trip off anyways. I think that was the case anyways. I then looked around at that spot there, around the pillar and all, to make sure that I was clear there. I was able to determine that I was. I also took note of the wool there that's not covered up with the skulk. When I was grabbing wool, I was grabbing wool that was not covered in those skulk, because I do not know if those skulks breaking themselves would cause the skulk sensors to trigger. Considering the fact I wouldn't be directly mining those, I still didn't like the idea of having a block get mined, and I don't know if that would be enough to cause a shrieker to trigger. You can actually have mobs trigger skulk sensors, but a lot of mobs won't trigger the shrieker. So a zombie can like traverse around skulk sensors and be triggering a skulk sensor with skulk shriekers around it. But as soon as a player traverses those same sensors, then the shriekers can go off. So I was creeping around a little bit around a hall, gathering more wool, and I came across a spot that contained 2 chests, but multiple shriekers there, as y'all seen in the footage there. So I had 3 shriekers to think about. This scenario was a lot easier than the first scenario that had shriekers and chests in it. But I did have some unforeseen blunders. Sorry, I'm just cautiously looking around, thinking, where are there any additional skulk sensors, and where do I need to place wool to block off all the skulk sensors and shriekers as needed? I got to the point where I thought I can get away with destroying that. I do not know how that was even possible, because I did not see any skulk sensors above or below. Luckily, 10 minutes passed by, so that fourth shrieker there wouldn't have caused a warden to spawn, considering that alert level has already gone down 1 level already at that time. But yeah, as soon as I did that, just grown conscientious and wanted to see if there was any more skulk sensors around. Didn't see any more. I was relieved to hear that silence. I was also relieved to hear that silence too as well. It's like, alright, back on strike 3 with this. I did eventually open those chests. My inventory at the time was getting to be pretty full, so there's items I had to, that I wound up discarding in there. Like, there's a few tools that I was about to break that I went ahead and put in the chest. I had to eat, but I didn't think about that skulk sensor, so as soon as I heard that sensor, that's how I knew that the shrieker went off, because there was a skulk sensor below the floor somewhere. Hence why I was baffled at first, because sometimes the waves that the skulk sensor relief will go down underground before you can even see it when they set off. I also put the skulk and the skulk sensors I grabbed from the previous chests before away too as well. Grabbed the compass and the regeneration potion. Not that I really needed the compass in the first place, but I was like, compasses, why not? Then I saw that legging that had mending on it. I was jazzed to see that. And that iron leggings there had fire protection on it. So I'll definitely be using those iron leggings in the future when it comes to exploring the nether. Because those iron leggings will, well, if I happen to fall into lava, will protect me a little bit better. Where I won't absorb so much damage and reduce the amount of time that I'll be burning from fire. But if I happen to find a nether fortress, those will also help me a lot dealing with blazes. As a lot of you who has played Minecraft for a while knows that the danger with blazes is burning to death rather than getting hit by their fireballs. So no echo shards, no swift sneak. Those were actually the last chests that I decided to open for the time session because I'm at 3 strikes. If I cause a 4th shrieker to go off, the warden will pop in. Will spawn in. Besides, my inventory was getting full, so I couldn't grab any more anyways. So I then proceeded back to the same corridor that was going along around the central statue. And started placing torches as navigation markers at areas that I knew for a fact were safe. But I got a little overconfident. Now, unfortunately, the scene that I triggered the 4th Shrieker in, it had the audio, but the video for some odd reason got corrupted and couldn't render the images, so I'm cutting that out of this because you guys won't be getting the full context to what happened. But basically, long story short, as soon as I heard that Shrieker go off, I was quick to run to the spot that I entered the ancient city in, looked back briefly to see if the warden was following me. Thankfully, I wasn't seeing the warden anywhere, so I took it as a sign that I was too far away for the warden to track me down. So I then started proceeding through the caves and found the same mine shaft that I dug my way down into and pillared my way up with dirt before depositing my findings in chests. So I went ahead and posited everything. So I went from like 9 diamonds to 12. I meant to say 28 pieces of coal were found, but I accidentally said iron. 3 enchanted golden apples, I am wearing one of the iron leggings that has protection 3 on it. Hope get some damage reduction. I put all the stuff there. Now I also got 10 books. That means ancient cities are a source of books. So, looking at that, I was thinking to myself, cool, I can make myself an enchanting table now. That's for something in the future to do later on. Now, you notice I was handling the red poppies trying to make red dye? Well, I'm a long-time Minecraft player. I was hoping to get a red poppy out of the bone meal, but I decided that would take too long. So I looked far and started spotting red poppies from afar. I was jumping around real fast, confidently, because, well, I mined up all the skulk sensors and shriekers in this area, so the whole area that I'm running in, completely open, worry-free for skulk sensors and shriekers. But I also want to be quick to save time and to avoid troubles with phantoms. So yeah, I was wanting to make a bed, but a red bed specifically. I don't. For those of you who are new to Minecraft, bed. The only bed you could make before one of the updates was a red bed, and you'd be making a red bed regardless of what combination of wool color that you use to make the bed. So I just made a red bed as a symbol of me being a Minecraft veteran. Like, I've been playing this game since 1.3. And that was back at, like, gosh, 2012 or 2013. It was right before the Wither update came out. So I was thinking to myself, looking at those books, it's like, I can make it a enchantment table now. Where to put it? I thought having it near my home for functionality, but no, I want to do something different, because that's pretty much what I do every single time I start a Minecraft world. I then was looking at that mountain that you guys are seeing right now, and I was thinking, you know what, make something special out of that. Put the enchantment at the peak of that mountain, and have it stand out that way compared to other buildings. And then, at the future, I plan on decorating that mountain to make it look like it's like a special magical mountain. Hence why I'm putting an enchantment table there. Just to create like an artistic feel to, like an artistical feel and purpose to that. I was also plotting out plans to redecorate the nether portal a bit too as well in the nether. So y'all will see the structure that I mentioned about before. I used basalt, the basalt that I grabbed from flattening out the delta a bit. I have plans on establishing just a small functional area of operations. Probably add more of the netherwood, stuff like that, just to give a more of a comfortable transition entering into the nether before exploring it, because the nether can be a flat-out dangerous place at times in this game. Basalt deltas are one of my favorite biomes. I also plan on making, you know what, I won't spoil it. I do have plans with this basalt delta, and making use of all this basalt. So I do have ambitious plans with that for making a good build out of it. So I basically went back just to prepare for my closing statements. So I already plotted out that I was going to decorate the nether portal at some point in one of the episodes, and that I plan on in the future making a room for the enchantment table. Like I mentioned, on top of that hill. Or a mountain. Now, I also intend on coming back to the ancient city again just to loot more of it, because it came to be very apparent to me that the ancient city is going to take a lot more time than what I thought it was going to do. So, I will plan on making the next episode revolve around that, so that we all can see more of what I'm grabbing out of it. Anyways, if any of y'all happen to stayed at the end of this episode, I do appreciate that the fact that y'all were willing to do so despite my grave mistake that I made with the microphone here. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching this episode, and I will be making more contents. Hopefully without this blunder again. I'll definitely be more thorough next time to make sure that the microphone is working with OBS. Now, in regards to why a clip didn't properly re-record with its video, well, I don't know what happened. Anyways, I wish you all a very well and fruitful future, and y'all take care of yourselves. Mine on, y'all.